What up, guys? Welcome back to Off the Record, where we talk about whatever we want. And today's segment is Ask an Expert, and we have Don, from a former Marine Raider, which is Special Operations. A question I wanted to ask is, I know a lot of guys, especially in the Special Operations community, after they get out, they like to experiment with like psychedelics, like shrooms.
Really?
Yeah, a lot. It's like, it's really prevalent. I see people post.
Why?
It's almost like there was a psychological impact to what they did, and they're trying to take the edge off. Maybe that's just a guess.
Why do you think that is, and do you partake in it? And
I think that in the military you go through, especially special operations guys, you go through a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
Whether it's TBI.
What's TBI?
Traumatic brain injury, so a lot of concussions.
Concussion? Oh.
Or driving over a bomb, just impacts from blast waves if you're shooting like a rocket launcher. And then as well as seeing a lot of fucked up shit.
Yeah.
So that's different from PTSD, right? Because PTSD is more like seeing traumatic shit.
Yeah.
And we're just starting to understand CTE, which is a result of concussions. Where like a lot of athletes, like football players,
NFL players,
they get like serious depression caused by like echoes of the concussion that they had years ago even.
Yeah. I remember shooting this rocket launcher called the Carl Gustav. It's like 82 millimeter recoilless rocket, pretty much.
Is that one of ours or someone else's?
It's British.
Oh, okay.
But I was shooting it off of a wall in Afghanistan. There was a wall right here. So when you look back, you know how you're supposed to check your back blast area?
Yeah.
So that was clear, but the wall was still right here. So I was taking all that concussion.
Is that like when it releases, there's the wall and it kind of bounces back?
Shot bounces back.
So you're supposed to do it in a clear area?
Supposed to do it in a clear area. Oh. Yeah, and I shot like 2 of them, and I was like concussed for like 3 days.
Did you get the target though?
Yeah, but we were shooting out this wall that didn't go down.
This is during training or during like?
No, it was in Afghanistan.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Dude, what kind of wall is that made out of? I want to buy that shit.
It's clay cement wall. I mean, it was like a known wall that the Taliban always hid behind too. We shot like 50 cal at it. I mean, everything.
50 cal didn't go through?
No, not even. That's why we shot the rockets.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It hit it, but it didn't take it down.
Dude, being next to a 50 cal when it gets shot is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You can feel the shockwave go through your whole body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah,
yeah. So a lot of guys experienced trauma and had disease and stuff like that. So they're trying to look for alternative ways, because when you get out of the military, the VA just pumps you with medication. Like when I got out, I think I was like on 6 different pills. 2 of them were like opiate based for like nightmares, anxiety and all that stuff. But nobody wants to take that many pills because it just makes you feel numb.
How did you feel with those pills?
Like numb.
Like you didn't feel nothing?
Yeah.
You had nightmares and all that stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I still do kind of, but yeah.
Like of what happened?
Sometimes. Yeah. Just depends on the night or whatever it was, but a lot of like terror nightmares and stuff.
Damn.
So yeah, people are just trying to
get over that stuff.
Trying to get over that stuff. So psychedelics has been a huge answer for a lot of people, whether it's shrooms or DMT. And like shrooms like kind of create a new neural pathway in your mind. So instead of your mind reaching the same exact way, so if you hit like a little trigger or something, it reconnects you back to that same way. But shrooms, you know, like a lot of people microdoses, so they're supposed to create new pathways to your brain so you can create new experiences, and that takes over what it used to take over. So that's why people use shrooms, or they use DMT or ayahuasca or something like that to really kind of get a different perspective on life and the experience that happens to you.
So it's like the trigger happens again, instead of going straight to what your original reaction or memory is, it kind of goes somewhere else.
Kind of go somewhere else.
You rewire it, huh?
Rewire it, yeah. And a lot of guys say it's like a full reset kind of thing. But yeah.
Have you done DMT?
I have. I've done mushrooms and DMT.
How many times? Or DMT, how many times have you done? I'm really interested in it.
So the DMT, there's 2 different types of DMT that I know of. One comes from a bark, and then the other one comes from the otak toad.
Yeah.
And then the bark one's like a more visual kind of experience. And then the otak toad one is like a extremely emotional experience.
Do you lick a toad?
So it comes from this toad that creates a poison that comes off of it when it's like its defense mechanism. So like
scare it and then you lick it.
No, they dry out the poison that comes off of it, and they put it in little crystals, and you smoke it like out of a bong.
That's what my friend did. He smoked a DMD, and he said it didn't last very long, but he heard otherworldly beings laughing and talking about him, and then he came back down. It was very quick.
Yeah.
What was your experience like?
I was going through like a lot of nightmares and like a lot of my own kind of struggles and stuff like that. So one of my friends hooked me up with like a whole shaman kind of experience. So it was like in Topanga of LA, and then it was like
Like over there, like close to the 405, like over there.
Was it a white guy with dreadlocks and a tie-dye shirt?
Do you have to take the 10 to get to the 405?
his shaman assistant had dreadlocks and she was German.
Oh, okay.
So we like went to like this recovery kind of ground thing, and then you set your intentions on why you want to do it, so that way you can kind of bring it out to light, and you don't have to go into detail, but it's important to talk about it, so that way you can kind of go in there and deal with it.
What were your intentions? Can you talk about it?
To get rid of the nightmares, and then just to have a different perspective on life or the struggles that I've been through, instead
You
of
go in and be like, I'm trying to trip the fuck out and have an amazing roller coaster ride.
people do that as well, and people enjoy it that way as well. But
What about your perspective at the time? Did you feel like it was not good?
I was just scared to do it. People always was that your question?
No, like you know how so you want to take it to get a different perspective on life. What was your perspective on life that you feel like needed to change?
Oh, I just felt like some of the struggles that I've been through, whether it was in the military or whatnot, was like not justified. Kind of like, I don't want to get too far into that one, but it was just like, why did I have to go through that? Kind of like, not like self-blame, but like, why did I make that decision to do that?
To kind of regret a little bit.
Yeah, I would say so, for sure. Yeah.
You're beating yourself up somehow in your mind.
Yeah.
And then
For some of the experience I did overseas, whether
Whether it was your actions or it happened to you or just all kinds of whatever the reason, you were beating yourself up. Yeah.
So you set your intentions, and then they let you have some?
For this ceremony, it was like a 3 different trips. So it was like the first one was like a small dosage, and you do that in a group, and then the second one was a bigger dosage, and you do that on your own, and then on the last one, you do it in a group again to like kind of seal the deal on what you learned out of that experience. So that first one, I could feel like my body like trying to fight it, and my mind was trying to fight it. So I was
fight
like
the DMT.
trying to fight the trip.
Oh.
Yeah. And I saw this like great white wolf, pretty much like a Game of Thrones wolf, that size.
Yeah.
And it was like kind of like nudging me, it's time to go.
Like, let's get out of here, or nudging you to
go into it further. But I was like, oh, it's like a white wolf. And in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm not that pure to be going with a white wolf. And then like it ran off, and then this like half gray, half white wolf came in, and I was able to jump on the wolf, and I was like going through this vortex.
That's tight! The white one is like, no, that one's too clean. And then one with the eye patch is like, with a scar, he goes, yeah, that's my homie right there.
Do you know you know how, are you so deep into it where it seems like reality and you don't, and once you're out of the trip, you're like, oh fuck, I was tripping? Or you're self-aware that you're tripping during the trip?
Okay, you're not aware. It's like a full out of body.
Full immersion. You're just like, oh fuck, there's a fucking wolf right now.
Yeah, like full.
How do you remember? After the trip, you remember like what you went through?
Yeah, and to be honest, like a lot of it is unexplainable. Okay, so I did that trip on Monday, but I forgot on Friday. When my friend took me to one of his shamans again, and they tried to put me through like a precursor because they knew I was kind of scared of it. But that day we just did the bark. Kind of DMT trip, and then I remember like seeing a whole bunch of visuals, and I see like a few faces and stuff like that, like cartoon faces, no one I knew, and then like a lot of weird patterns and stuff like that. But the entire time there was this like black void coming up the entire time, like creeping up as like more I went, and I kept seeing these visuals, and I kept creeping up, and then like very to the very top, and I was like scared, because I was like, what am I not ready to deal with, whatever that was. And then that's why I was so reluctant on the Monday to like kind of dive into it. But
You still jumped on a wolf's back. I think it's pretty good.
yeah, so then you kind of come out of it, and then you're still a little disoriented, and then you go into the second trip, and that one was like a blast off.
You mean you come out of it as in you sober up?
Yeah.
So you went on the wolf's back and you guys just fucking ran through the jungle or whatever.
Do a vortex.
Yeah.
Through a vortex, and then you don't remember what happened in there, and then you.
No, that was it. Like that was going through the vortex, and I opened my eyes. So you don't fully like, you're not like tripping and sober, you're like tripping.
This episode of Off the Record is brought to you by Feels. So I just recently started trying CBD. I never really had to before because you know that I knock out really, really fast. But these days I've been working out at night and I get that adrenaline and then I take the pre-workout, so I'm freaking amped and I'm laying in bed and I'm like, oh shoot, it's like 12 o'clock now and I still haven't knocked out. So I tried CBD the other day, shout outs to Feels, and it actually mellowed me out. It was cool that I was able to...
That's what I've been telling you, dude.
I know, it was cool that I was able to kind of like chill out a little bit, and I was like, oh dang, like I actually feel warm and I feel a little bit sleepy, and I knocked out even while taking pre-workout just a few hours before. So I really like it, and for those of you guys who also have anxiety or high stress levels and have sleeplessness, give Feels a try because it could definitely reduce those symptoms.
Yeah, man, it makes me feel like the feels.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yo, it's time to chills. And it's pretty cool because it's super easy to take. You just
Super
get like
easy.
a couple of drops, put it under your tongue, and you're ready to go. Each individual, though, has different tolerance levels. So, you might be a lightweight like me where you just need a few, or you might need a whole shot glass, but I do not recommend it. Always ask a professional.
Yeah, I started small, and that's what's cool about the professional part. They offer real human support too. So if you're like, what do? I got this one homie telling me this and this other homie telling me that. Well, you can talk to a professional. They'll tell you what to take. For me, I just wanted to start off small because I wanted to eat baby step into it, so I only took 2 drops.
Yeah, and the thing that I was scared of is like the hangover or some kind of weird addiction or after effects, but actually it doesn't have any of that, and it's just a natural way to chill out.
Yeah. And it's super cool because you can sign up to the community and then they can deliver it right to your door every single month. So if you need to use it on the regular basis, it takes the guesswork out of it.
And for this membership, you could cancel or pause it anytime you want. It's just a stress-free way of getting something delivered. Feels has me feeling my best, and it can help you too.
Become a member today by going to feels.com/offtherecord and get 50% off your first order plus free shipping.
That's FEALS.com/offtherecord.
To become a member and to get automatically 50% off your first order plus free shipping, dude. Why are you waiting? Go.
Or do that, One more time, that's feals.com/offtherecord.
But this next time you blast off, where do you go?
Dude, that one was like the most intense experience I've ever been through. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but
Was it like your body's full of penises and everyone's gonna blowjob everywhere?
wow. I don't know, no, not like that.
That sounds kind of cool. You're like massage. Oh, I'm coming everywhere.
Yeah. But yeah, like I saw my dad. My dad passed away last year, like a year ago.
He came to you.
He didn't come to me. It was like he was already there.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I saw my friends that passed away, like Jeremy I was talking about, my friend Mike. And I didn't have a conversation with them. It was like
Were they just doing their own thing?
they were just doing their own thing, but I was able to see them.
Where were you? Like,
My
where?
dad was like drinking beers and stuff with his friends.
Oh,
Like
cool.
that's what he liked to do.
So,
My
like,
friend
fond
Jeremy was playing the
memories.
guitar. But I saw him and I knew that they were in a happier place. And I always tripped out about like what happened with Jeremy. I was tripped out what happened with my friend Mike in Afghanistan when we lost him. Like just those scenarios. And the biggest experience is like to let go, because in your lives you're like so tense up all the time. And in that experience, you have no choice but to just let go of everything that you're seeing, everything that the energy that's flowing through you. It was life changing for sure.
And how long was that experience?
You completely lose perception of time and reality-ish too. So I think it was maybe like 30 minutes or something like that.
Oh, no one's like timing you or
No one's
anything?
timing you.
Is it like Inception where it feels like a month and then it was just like 30 minutes?
I don't even know. I couldn't even really put like a time to it.
When you were there, like, how many days were you there at this, like the trip center?
Like a 4-hour session kind of thing.
Oh, that's 4 hours you tripped 3 times?
Yeah.
So take me through the whole last trip, the mind-blowing trip. You see your dad, you see your friends, like anything else?
I honestly don't even know how to explain it, but I remember laughing my ass off, like just joy. And then I also remember like bawling my eyes out, like crying, trying to like let go of all the tense shit, bad stuff in my mind. And like I opened my eyes like to kind of come back to reality a little bit, and it wasn't the real world.
So you're opening your eyes and you're in the room, but it's not what you remember. It's like different.
Yeah,
What do
it
you
wasn't,
see?
Like these weird like circular shapes coming up, like bright lights bouncing off and out, and like I see like a bright one in the middle. So DMT is like a natural chemical that's already in our bodies. So the reason that the OTAC one is a lot more emotional is because it comes from a biological animal instead of the plant, right? So your body connects to that one a little bit more, but that's what releases when your brain when you dream, and as well as like right before you die, it like dumps your DMT. That's why some people see like the white light at the end of the tunnel, and I felt like I was seeing the white light for a second. And I was like, oh shit, am I like dying or whatnot? But it was like I was just going through and breaking through like another dimension, and then it kept going, you know. So it was crazy, but the biggest lesson out of it was like, hey, it's okay.
That was during your personal trip or during
my personal one.
By yourself?
Yeah, was a shaman with you? Is there someone
Yeah,
that
so it's like the shaman leads you through it, and they're
is he
playing
talking
like
to you the whole time?
they're not
Guide
talking to you. They're playing like these sound bowls. They're
Meditation? Wow.
insane, yeah. And then they sprayed me with like water to make sure I was like cool enough. It was like a whole,
Because you can overheat or something?
I don't know. It was just like a warmer day. Whoa. Yeah. But like after the trip, they bring out this like big plate of fruit and chocolate, and they make you fast before, so like, I guess the effects hit you a little bit more. But it's like, and they had the Brookstone chocolate covered acai berries.
Brookstone.
Right? Wait, you know what I'm talking about? What side?
No, it's just funny that it's like
That's hilarious.
you think like these like hippie guys that got their whatever, but they're like, wait, that's C's candy, dude.
Yeah, dude, it was so good though.
It's like a South American papaya, and it's like.
Yeah, it was so good. But yeah, so then after that one, everyone does it in that circle. It's me and my friend, and then this one of our friends that's a female, she was there kind of going through her own stuff too. And then the last one you do it as a group again to kind of like seal the deal and make sure that you learn something.
Was the last one just as intense as the second one?
No, it was the least intense, probably because your body has
It's used to it a little
used
bit
to
more.
it already.
So the last one, were you like aware? Like you're.
They tell you to keep your eyes open to be aware, so that way the things that you've seen and things that you kind of experience in that you can integrate it, because it's always about the integration piece, right? Like you can't just do it for fun and then not take anything you learn from it.
So when you were in your roller coaster ride, were your eyes closed, or like, what do you mean by keeping your eyes open? And stuff?
Yeah, if you close your eyes, the effects are, I think, stronger because you're not influenced by the things that you see outside. When you open your eyes, you're still in the journey or whatever it is, but you have some type of perception of things.
But you could control that, like you like open now, or like.
Well, they tell you like if it's too much, then try to open it. But
What was the third trip?
it was just like I was trying to keep my eyes open, so just like a lot of reintegration. Like I could see energy flow through like the trees and the people around me.
So sick.
Do you feel like at the end you were able to change your perspective?
For like a month after, I was like the happiest guy for sure, able to focus better and stuff like that. But of course, like drinking alcohol and stuff like that re-brings like the depressants and stuff like that back. So I redid another trip to kind of like,
Like the alcohol reverses the effects of it?
not reverse, but like alcohol is like, it's a bad habit, you know, like
Yeah.
drinking too much,
Yeah.
and it puts your mind in a depressant state. It's a depressant, so it
Yeah.
can drive a lot back to those emotions again.
Oh.
So you have to integrate, like you have to learn something from that, and like, hey, stay away from things that are gonna bring negative energy to your life and shit like that. So
So you had to do it again?
I did it again with one of my other friends. I wanted to do it, but that main focus for me was, hey, to stop drinking so much, and then to able to accept other people more for who they are in any roles around me. So instead of like just, because in the military, you're like, oh, you either suck or you're good,
Yeah.
you know, but now in civilian world, it's like, hey, it's important.
Everyone sucks.
Yeah, and everybody has their weakness, and if they're not the right fit for your company, or they're not the right fit for you as like a partner or whatever it is, then it's okay to let them go as well. But
I think like that's the biggest difficulty I see like from military guys in civilian world is like the military guys, there's like no time for emotions almost. Like it's like just fucking do it, right?
You're
Like-
taught that.
Yeah, you're taught that. So you, since you had to deal with it, you think normal people should be stronger or whatever. And then when you integrate back into civilian world, there's so many of these like other things that come off very petty, kind of like you know, things that are unnecessary in the battlefield or whatever that waste time, right? It's like you're gonna kill people, you're gonna get people dead in the military if you're just like, wait, but I have second thoughts,
Yes.
right? But then in the civilian world, it's like we have that luxury to be like, you know what? I'm kind of having, you know, I'm not feeling it right now, or like it's different. It's not life or death. So I think that's the biggest difference I see from like veterans or guys coming back into the world and seeing like the shit that they have to deal with. It's like, oh, dude, that's a huge difference in culture.
For sure. And the culture, like the veteran culture, is not very inducive of like, hey, transitioning back into the real world, you know, because we should be more understanding of what they've went through, and everybody goes through an experience in a different trauma level. Like if they drove over one bomb, that could be way more traumatizing than anything I went through when I was in the military, and you can't really determine that. But a lot of guys in the military are like, oh, you didn't do shit in the military, you know, you got shot at one time, you didn't kill anybody or whatever it is. Like they're just judging each other a lot, and I feel like that's a huge downside of what America and especially the veteran community is really about. We should be more open to helping other people out, because everybody goes through their own struggle.
Well, my brother just sat in a fucking chair in the Air Force, so he really didn't do shit in there.
He was a pilot?
No, he was the air traffic controller.
Oh shit. No, those are awesome guys.
No, they're fine, but he never even left the States.
Oh, okay.
He's just chilling, dude.
Yeah, we should give him all this shit then, dude. Fuck that guy, dude.
So much shit.
I'm just messing.
That's pretty crazy, man. Damn. What made you want to do psychedelics out of nowhere? Like, was it a thing that your friends were like, you gotta do this shit, man?
I mean, I've had a lot of friends do it for the longest time. I've just been scared, you know, like I don't want to.
Did you see like good results? That's why you made you more inclined to do it.
I mean, like your friend earlier was saying as well, is like it's all about that reintegration piece, right? If you do something, you learn something, and you don't ever apply it or you don't use it, then it's a waste, right? So it's the exact same process, but it's definitely been better.
Cause I done a lot of acid, but I'm so scared of doing shrooms and ayahuasca.
Acid's way more intense.
That's
than,
what I heard, but then now, cause I thought shrooms was scarier. Like my friend was like, yeah, man, I turned into a fucking sponge when I was taking a shower, and then like the water was filling me up, and I was so scared. I was
water was filling him up.
You gotta ring himself out.
Yeah, right.
And then when I heard that, I was like, oh, fuck that, I'm gonna stick with acid. And then that's what I heard, is that acid is more intense, but I'm still scared of shrooms and ayahuasca and DMT and stuff.
I don't want to turn into a sponge either, dude. That sounds like shit.
I don't like ayahuasca. Well, I've read a little bit of research on ayahuasca, but ayahuasca makes you like purge.
Yeah, puke and yeah.
Bro, but it's still DMT, right? When they combine the two plants that are grown completely different places of the country. And like, that's kind of crazy, right?
But I heard ayahuasca lasts like 10 hours or some outrageous.
I don't know how long it lasts, but
I don't want to throw up if I'm tripping.
yeah.
What is the DMT? Is smokable?
Yeah, you hit it out of a bong.
What's the other one?
The other DMT?
Yeah.
The other, yeah.
So both the toad and the bark is out of the bomb.
Out of a bong.
Do they last long? Like, how long does it really last? Because my friend who did the smokable one, he said that it was like only minutes.
I would say it's about like 20 to 45 minutes if I could put a time.
I'm down.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'm not gonna do hours, man. That's what scares me about shrooms too. Maybe I'll microdose, but like people are like, yeah, you gotta get it ready for a 6-hour trip, man.
Yeah, that's a lot, dude. That's heavy, dude.
I'm like, 6
what about
hours in Wonderland?
acid though? Isn't acid a really long?
I haven't done it since high school. But it was hours, yeah. But
High
you
school
have
down for
time.
anything, yeah.
In high school, you're trying to prolong it and be in dream world for 12 hours straight, you know? So